I didn't want to cause a scene.
Gosh. Can we talk about this?
Season 3, Episode 3 of Euphoria, titled The Ballad of Paladin. Let's talk about it. So layered, so much happened. Obviously, I can't post the entirety of that last scene, which was just... Well, that was cinema. That was like the equivalent, and I've said this in another one of my videos, watching the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. If you know, you know. It was brutal, it was heartbreaking, it was violent, and Sydney Sweeney delivered an incredible performance, I gotta say it. So the beginning of the episode, right? We got Jules' backstory, sort of filling in the blanks for the 5-year time jump post-high school to where she is now. She's an artist. She's living with a roommate. Her roommate sort of introduces her to this idea of dating for money, which is a very common thing in this day and age. And we sort of follow Jules down on that journey, and she meets one gentleman who's a plastic surgeon, who basically funds her in the beautiful penthouse that we saw her in last episode, where Rue comes to visit her. And it was a very interesting, I don't want to say beautiful, but it was like a real cinematic shot of her in the like saran wrap, and I guess that's that guy's thing. Anyways, so I thought that was a very interesting way to start the episode. We then move on to Nate and Cassie's wedding. Suze is walking Cassie down the aisle, giving her this like all these negative, pearls of wisdom, which I thought was amazing. Alana Ubach is so great as Cassie's mom. They give us they as in Nate and Cassie, a cringeworthy wedding dance, choreographed wedding dance, which is like very, clutching my pearls, and it was just crazy. That scary guy who Nate is in cahoots with for his construction business shows up at the wedding and is like threatening him. Cassie has no idea about this, and Lexi was privy to the entire conversation. She was like, "What is going on? Are you okay?" And Cassie's retort was, "How dare you ask me that? It's the greatest day of my life. Like, how dare you?" She's sort of in denial. A lot of the episode was focused on Maddie's reactions to watching Nate and Cassie get married. Obviously, her ex-boyfriend, her ex-best friend who stole her boyfriend in an affair. And it was really emotional for Maddie, but a stellar performance by Alexa Demi. We also got a wonderful cameo from an Euphoria OG BB, which was so exciting. I thought we were going to get Kat, but no, Barbie Ferreira, in fact, did not show up, which was sad. It was great to see her. We got, Cal. Let me pull up that picture. Cal Jacobs, played by the late, great Eric Dane, has a heart-to-heart with Jules, apologizes for the tape and everything that went down, updates her on the status of where he is in life, and he's on, a certain list, which is really bad. And, they basically let bygones be bygones, and Jules walks away, and he says something along the lines of, "You still look really, really good," and, dog whistles at her, if you will. Then we get what is probably the most violent scene we've ever gotten in the 3 seasons of Euphoria, which is Nate and Cassie going home post their nuptials, and the gentleman who Nate is in business with, and a henchman, if you will, and he beats Nate to a pulp, and Cassie gets knocked to the ground. She breaks her nose. She's bleeding. She's privy to it. She's crying. She's emotional. The camera's on her, but it's a interesting, I don't know the terminology, the cinematic terminology, but Nate is being beaten up behind her on the stairs and on the floor and around, and at the end the gentleman takes a pair of pliers, and let's just say we're born with 10 toes and Nate is 1 toe short. It was a wedding that will be remembered for all eternity, if you will. So that is my thought of season 3, episode 3 of Euphoria. Very much looking forward to episode 4. What are your thoughts? A lot went on with Rue, of course, and Lori and the parrot and the pig. I don't like animal, cruelty, so I really don't want to talk about that. But yeah, that was... Oh, Fesco. She got a nice call with Fesco, and he was planning on breaking out of prison, doing Parker, which is really cute, really humorous, and paying homage to the late, great Angus Cloud. So yeah, what are your thoughts?